Chapter 21 Wine Bottle Design. You are listening at novelfold.audio. At the warm invitation of Mayor Hong, we had dinner together in the evening. After drinking the wine brought by Liu Sen, he kept praising the wine for being so delicious, and asked what kind of wine it was and why he had never seen it before. After Mayor Hong learned that this wine was what Liu Sen wanted to build a factory here, his attitude was as enthusiastic as he could be. The reception just now may still be a bit formal. After all, he came to invest and build a factory. Now he can see the future of the company through this. He immediately said that he would apply for tax reduction policies for Indian wine industry and even asked if 100 acres of land would be enough. He wanted to make this project better. This is his political achievement and the local god of wealth in the future. The current real estate is not good. In previous years, it relied on buying land to make a living. At the end of this year, all civil servants and career staff have no bonuses. This is the financial tension. The meal was a happy one for both the host and the guests. After the meal, Liu Sen left a few bottles of wine for Mayor Hong and asked him to negotiate conditions with the people in the city. After saying goodbye to Mayor Hong, Liu Ying drove Liu Sen back to the city. After returning home, Liu Sen just lay down in the living room to take a rest. At this time, Yin Dan handed Liu Sen the draft of the trademark sent by the design company. Brother Sen, this is the draft of the trademark. See if there are any modifications. After taking a closer look and confirming that there were no problems, he said, "It's okay." They said that the design of the wine bottle is more complicated and needs to wait for 2 days. Yeah. Liu Sen responded, drank some tea made by Liu Ying, and then took some materials and bottles that he had just received today and entered the workshop. Liu Sen used number 1 wine yeast and type A enzyme to make 5 barrels of wine again. He wanted to compare the effect of time on taste. He started to study the synthesis of the next generation of wine yeast and enzymes again. Although he used modified instruments, the next generation was not so easy. It was not until 10 o'clock in the evening that Liu Sen finished his research, took a shower, and went to the rooftop. The 3 women were still playing in the water. Liu Sen also swam 2 laps in the water and rested by the swimming pool. Liu Sen felt water hitting his face and thought it was raining. When he opened his eyes, he realized that it was the 3 women who were smiling at him and splashing water at him. "Okay, you 3 are so naughty, do you want to spank me?" Liu Sen splashed the water back directly. He found that he could not outrun the 3 of them under normal operation, and he did not want to bully them directly with his superhuman physique. If he wanted to win, he had to get close to them, so that they would panic and run away. He walked towards them while splashing water with his hands. Liu Ying and the other 2 looked at Liu Sen, who was approaching against their splashing water, and began to retreat continuously. The 3 women who had gathered together began to disperse, dodging the splashing water while moving in the water. As a result, the 3 women could not stand firmly, and all 3 women screamed and were about to fall. Seeing this, Liu Sen quickly exerted his superhuman physique, burst out with amazing strength, broke through the resistance of the water flow, and rushed over in 3 or 2 steps. He first grabbed Lu, who was closest to him, and leaned into his arms with one hand. At the same time, he stretched out his hands again and grabbed Liu Ying and Yin Dan again. All of a sudden, the 4 of them leaned against each other, and after the exclamation, they all quieted down. They could hear each other's heartbeats. The heartbeats of the 4 people rose and fell, just like playing a musical instrument, and the rhythm of the beats became faster and faster. It made people feel surrounded by happiness, cold and cool, and the places where the skin touched began to heat up. Liu Sen looked at the 3 people in his arms, looked at Liu Ying with her eyes closed, and Yin Dan and Lu had the same expression. Liu Sen coughed and eased the atmosphere. "Okay, go back and rest." At night, Liu Sen was in bed, and it was difficult to fall asleep. He felt a little uncomfortable, and got up again to take a shower, and then he felt a little better. In the next few days, Liu Sen and his friends were busy. After several days of negotiations, the glass factory was successfully acquired. The original factory was not profitable, and the sudden change in the market environment during this period made it even worse. In the end, it was fully acquired by Liu Sen for 3.2 million. Because he was the mayor of his hometown, he asked his parents to visit him often. Liu Sen stayed in the factory for 2 days and handled all the things with his superhuman learning ability and memory. the glass factory has no orders and no debts now. The machines are still okay and there are 107 people. The next day, Liu Sen received the design drawings of the wine bottle from the design company. According to the drawings, one was made in the factory, but the quality and texture can only be said to be average. It is not attractive to young people. And the most important point is that Liu Sen wants to make a wine bottle that can prevent theft. The wine bottles he wants are not only low-end, but also high-end. If you don't want to be counterfeited and damage the reputation of the brand, you must make a fuss on the wine bottle. The wine bottle must be anti-counterfeiting, so that everyone can easily distinguish the true from the false, and also prevent being punched and replaced. Therefore, it is necessary to be able to make a bottle that cannot be punched, or as long as you punch a hole, the wine bottle will definitely break. The wine liquid must also be done. As long as it is normally packaged, it can only go out but not in, and there must be a physical one-way valve. Liu Sen studied a lot of relevant books and modified the properties of the wine bottle, making the plasticity and firmness 10 times higher, and also studied the hardest glass, Rupert's tears. Liu Sen used the gold finger to modify the plasticity and shortcomings of Rupert's tear, and received the knowledge and direction of improvement. Through the improved glass, it can be directly synthesized artificially, which is extremely hard, not afraid of falling, and can withstand direct bullets. He led all the workers again and began to study the glass-making method. He added new additives and finally produced a qualified glass wine bottle. The whole glass bottle is crystal clear, like a diamond. It is a hollow glass sphere with only one concave with a diameter of 3 centimeters, which is the bottle mouth. There is a sphere with a diameter of 3 centimeters inside the bottle. The surface of the sphere has the brand name of the wine Qingfeng. There are 3 hollow 5-pointed stars under the 2 words Qingfeng. The internal sphere adopts the principle of a tumbler. When there is liquid in the bottle, the Qingfeng brand will always float upright on the liquid, no matter how the round wine bottle is placed. Qingfeng is an innovation of Liu Sen in the wine industry and a manifestation of Yitianjiu technology. There is also a separate flat square base of ordinary glass. Because the wine bottle is spherical, it must have a wine seat, otherwise it will roll. After all, it is similar to a bowling ball, but this one is transparent. After calculating the cost, this wine bottle uses new technology and new materials. At this stage, it still costs about 4 yuan to produce a wine bottle. In the future, expanding the scale may reduce the cost. It took more than 10 days to complete the production of the wine bottle. During these days, he worked hard every day. Finally, the assembly line was tested. Liu Sen directly produced 100 empty bottles and asked the workers to load them all on the car. Liu Sen took Lu Ying and Yin Dan away from the glass factory. After returning home, Liu Sen relaxed. The research involved in the early stage had been completed, and he could proceed step by step later, waiting for the completion of the winery. Chapter 22 President Jin's Shock. You are listening at novelfold.audio. A few days ago, thanks to the active actions of the leaders of Maoshan Town, the approval was finally obtained and the contract was signed. A construction company was commissioned to start building the factory, which is expected to take a month. The construction requirements include enclosing the mountain spring, laying pipelines, building a factory, and building a 5-story office building. Originally these were supposed to take 3 months to complete, but with Liu Sencho's ability, the construction period was shortened to 1 month. Liu Sen ordered the required instruments from manufacturers that produced related instruments. After doing everything well, Liu Sen found that he had no money when he was free. The original money of more than 100 million seemed to be a lot, but under Liu Sen's operation, it was lost at an extremely fast speed. It costs money to open a company, and it costs even more to open an industrial company. As a last resort, Liu Sen needed a loan. After all, he still needed to pay workers, buy raw materials, and do marketing and promotion. For more than half a month, I brewed several batches of wine. After tasting them for comparison, I found that the longer the wine was stored, the better it tasted. The taste of this batch of wine can reach its peak in about 3 years, reaching 3 times the taste of normal wine. The taste almost doubles every year. Liu Sen used the 100 wine bottles he brought back to fill and seal them with a simple instrument. The overall appearance of the wine can be said to be stunning. The transparent round ball in the middle is floating in the wine. When it is shaken, it lightly collides with the wall of the bottle, making a crisp and pleasant sound. because of the special glass material, there is no need to worry about it breaking due to impact. Liu Sen asked Liu Ying and his 3 daughters to help them pack it in custom-made packaging boxes. These wines are meant for tasting and promotion, and must be packaged accordingly. Although the wine is delicious, without formal packaging, it will make people feel that it is not high quality, or it feels like a small workshop. Liu Sen asked Liu Ying and the 3 girls to sort out all the information, and then went to the bank and NIU's office. "Brother, why are you here? You haven't been here for so many days." NIU got up and poured a cup of tea for Liu Sr. "Don't you usually cause trouble to you when I come here? Besides, I have a lot of things to do when opening a company and building a factory. I came here just for a loan. I don't have enough money." Liu Sen sat down and said. "Was the money used up so quickly?" NIU was a little surprised. "That was more than 100 million. Buy land to build a factory, contract spring water, buy instruments, and acquire a glass factory." Liu Sen counted the numbers for NIU. "Isn't the paving too big this time?" "Well, I also hope that the first product can be perfect, otherwise I can save a lot of money, but it's no problem. It's basically ready now. The only thing I need now is reserves and marketing expenses. It will be done soon after I start operating it. I can get my money back," Liu Sen replied. "Okay, bring all the loan materials." After NIU finished speaking, Liu Ying and the other girls who had been standing aside quickly handed over the materials. I took the information and looked at it. It was complete and there was no problem. "Brother, I can grant you 30 million directly. If it's not enough, I'll go to President Jean." NIU said directly. "That's enough. I'll bring President Jean a few bottles of wine if he's here. My wine is ready." Liu Sen pointed to the wine carried by Yin Dan and Lu Lu. "President Jean is here. Brother, wait a minute. I'll call and ask if he is free now." NIU immediately picked up the phone and dialed. "Uncle Jean, my brother is here and wanted to pay you a visit." He quickly hung up the phone. "Brother, Uncle Jean is free, I will take you up." "Okay." Liu Sen stood up directly and asked the 3 women to wait in NIU's office for a while. He took the wine from Yin Dan and Lu Lu and followed NIU out. Soon the 2 entered President Jin's office and saw Akira Kanazawa making tea. When Kanazawa saw NIU and Liu Sen entering the office, he directly arranged for them to sit aside, and then pushed the tea in front of them. "Last time we separated, I asked you to come and sit at my place. Why didn't you go?" Kanazawa Ming said. "I've been busy with the company and the assembly line. I just came out with a batch of wine and I'm here to visit you, Uncle Jean." Liu Sen introduced Kanazawa what he had done recently, and after speaking, he pointed to the wine he brought. "It seems that I am really busy, and the packaging is much better than before. I took your 2 bottles of wine to show off before, but because they were just bare bottles without a trademark, I was laughed at by those people." Akira Kanazawa was still a little angry when he said that, but then he said with some pride, "But after tasting it, those people tried to get in touch with me and wanted to know from me how this wine came from. I told them that it was my nephew brewed it himself, but they still don't believe it. Hey, I told them directly that I will take you to meet them next time." Liu Sen said and patted Liu Sr. "Uncle Jean, look at this. This is a new packaging. Please give me your opinion." Liu Sen said, picking up a bottle of wine and handing it over. Akira Kanazawa took the wine box and looked around. The outer packaging gave people an honest feeling. It was relatively short and fat, and the color was quite fresh. It was called Qingfeng, which was a very elegant name. Then he opened the box and was surprised to see that the wine bottle inside was a rare spherical shape. The spherical shape was placed steadily on the base. The small ball in the wine bottle had the word Qingfeng on it, floating on the liquid surface. The whole body shape is very delicate and elegant. This bottle is so unique and beautiful. Akira Kanazawa exclaimed. However, isn't this round ball inconvenient for pouring wine? Jean Ziming raised his question. This design is to make the person pouring wine use both hands, which is more decent, and also to prevent young people from not understanding the wine culture. Now young people can easily hold the bottle in one hand to pour wine for others, which will appear disrespectful and a bit rash. My design will not have such a situation, because it is not easy to pick up the bottle with one hand, and two hands are needed. Liu Sen gave an explanation. Then will such a round wine bottle be easy to break? Jin Ziming asked another question. Liu Sen heard this question and did not answer it directly. Instead, he picked up the tenfold wine placed aside, opened another bottle directly, and then held a bottle of wine in each hand and collided with each other. Hey, hey! Jin Ziming was frightened when he saw this situation. Bang! A loud collision sound came out. Liu Sen did not stop after the collision once, but continued to hit continuously, and the force used became stronger and stronger. In addition, the bottle also made another ding-ding sound because of the collision of the internal trademark ball. Originally, Liu Sen did not intend to demonstrate like this, but there was no other way. The conditions did not allow it. The ground was all tiled, and if the bottle was smashed directly on the ground, the tiles would definitely be broken. Jin Ziming was very shocked. He did not expect the bottle to be so hard. Liu Sen stopped and put the wine on the base again. How did you do this? Jin Ziming asked. This is a new type of glass, I invented it. It is impossible to damage it in daily life. Amazing. Jin Ziming picked up the bottle again and checked it carefully, and found that there was no damage, not even a trace left. Liu Sen also explained that this tasted worse than the wine he gave before, but it was much better than the ones on the market. When the winery is built later, it will produce better ones than now. Chapter 23 Loan to Go Home. You are listening at novelfold.audio. In the president's office, Liu Sen, Kanazawa Akira and Niu drank tea and chatted about the wine Liu Sen brewed. They also talked about the construction of the winery, the glass factory, and loan issues. Asen, there is no problem with the loan. Your documents are complete and the payment will be made soon. Akira Kanazawa said immediately after hearing Liu Sen's loan, and through the chat just now, we also know that it is estimated that this tenfold wine will not be mass-produced and supplied to the market for another month. Knowing that Liu Sen did not have a stable sales channel yet, Kanazawa thought for a moment and said, Asen, I have a group of friends who can help you sell a batch of wine. I will make an appointment for a dinner with you in 2 days. I will call you then. Your phone. Liu Sen was very moved when he heard that. President Jin Ziming had been working in this position for many years and must have a lot of connections. The friends he introduced must be of great help. Uncle Jin, that's great. As long as the first batch of wine can open up the market, I believe word of mouth will spread, and subsequent sales will slowly increase. After thanking President Jin again, Liu Sen and Niu left the office together. After chatting for a few more words on the way, they left the bank with Lu Ying and the other 3 girls. I drove to the express delivery store and delivered a box of 6 bottles of tenfold wine to Deng Yaluan, who was still in Longcheng. I filled out the express delivery form, took a photo of the express delivery form, and then sent the photo to Deng Yaluan. Aaron, the first batch of wine has come out and has been sent to you. You can try it and promote it. Liu Sen called Deng Yaluan on the way home. You finally sent me wine. I still remember it fresh after I drank it last time. Deng Yaluan was very happy to receive Liu Sen's call. Aaron, please taste it carefully. My company will produce this wine in the future. I believe it will be successful soon. You can consider leaving to help me. Come over and work as the sales manager first. Although it is a different industry, I believe you must be fine. Well, I promised you that it won't change. Don't worry, I have to go through the formalities here too. Deng Yaluan smiled. I've been waiting for you. The early stage of my winery is almost complete. It will be officially put into production in 1 month. If you have any sales talents you like, you can also bring them over. Liu Sen asked Deng Yaluan to tell him how many people were coming before he came back, so that he could rent a good house and provide it for everyone to live in. Then the call ended. Deng Yaluan has always liked drinking. He usually collects all kinds of wine. He also has a wide social circle and the people he meets are relatively capable. Liu Sen asked Deng Yaluan to come here because he hoped that he would have better development. Compared with the original company, because he offended the leader, his position was actually over. After Aaron came over and made certain achievements in the position of sales manager, he was made the deputy general manager of the wine company. Things in the city were basically completed. Liu Sen sat in the car and thought for a while, then said to Yin Dan who was driving, "I'll send you a location. You follow the navigation." Yin Dan turned on the navigation and was about to drive, when the other two women looked at the navigation and said, "Where is this place?" "This is my parents' house," Liu Sen said casually. Squeak. At this time, the vehicle that had just started stopped suddenly. The people in the car were thrown forward. Fortunately, they were all wearing seat belts. The wheel buckle in front of the three female bears was stretched even more prominently by the seat belts. "What's going on? Is there something in front of you?" Liu Sen asked doubtfully. "Nothing, you just said, where are you going now?" Yin Dan stopped the vehicle and turned around and asked, while the other two women also stared at Liu Sr. "It's my parents' house," Liu Sen said innocently. "It's our first time going to your house, so we must bring something with us," Liu Ying said. "Go back to my house to buy something." Liu Sen did not turn around. "No, you must buy it. Sister Dan, please drive to the supermarket," Lu said directly. "Yes, let's go to the supermarket first." Liu Ying immediately followed. After hearing this, Yin Dan drove directly to the largest supermarket in Rongqing without asking Liu Sen for his opinion. After the three girls got off the bus, they started discussing what they needed to buy on the way to the supermarket. "Brother Sen, what do uncle and aunt like? My parents really don't need stuff." Seeing that Liu Sen did not give any effective advice, the three women ignored Liu Sen and stopped asking. In a short while, the three carts were filled with things, including various supplements, milk, medicinal wine and so on. After paying the money, Liu Sen stepped in and put everything into the trunk, and put some things that couldn't fit directly on the passenger seat. Yin Dan stopped driving and directly pushed Liu Sen into the driving seat. The three women chatted quietly in the back seat, and started fighting with each other for a while. Liu Sen, who was driving, couldn't help but shake his head when he looked at the scene in the rearview mirror. However, as time passed and the closer they got to Liu Sen's home, the three women began to quiet down and looked a little nervous. Liu Sen drove the car directly into the yard. Everyone got out of the car, and the women quickly started to pick up the things they had just bought. "Dad, Mom, I'm back," Liu Sen shouted as he walked in the door. "Xiao Sen is back," Wang Zuelian said happily, and saw the three girls following Liu Sr. Wang Zuelian thought to herself, "This Xiao Sen has finally figured it out." He was asked to find a girlfriend by himself before, but he never found one. His family introduced him to blind dates so many times, but he still didn't like her. But when she saw the three girls following, she knew why they all looked down on her. It was because her son had too high standards. These three girls were beautiful and looked like fairies. However, Wang Zuelian was also a little confused. Why were there three of them? Which one was his daughter-in-law? No matter what, any one of them would do. They were all pretty. "Come on, come in and sit down," Wang Zuelian said to the three girls, ignoring Liu Sen who was standing in front. Liu Ying and the other two girls were so excited by Wang Zuelian's enthusiasm that they didn't know what to do. They just walked into the room and sat down. When they reacted, they didn't know how they got in. "Xiao Sen, what are you doing standing there? Go get some water." Seeing her mother winking at him, Liu Sen couldn't help but have a headache. He shouldn't have brought the three girls back. He sighed and went to pour water for the three girls to make tea, while the three girls handed the things they were holding to Liu's mother. "Auntie, here are some food we bought for you." Okay. Liu's mother was very happy. Through the attitude of the third daughter, it was clear that she had some ideas about her son. Wang Zuelian chatted with the third daughter, asking how and where the third daughter met Liu Sen. and told the third daughter about Liu Sen's childhood. Soon the third daughter relaxed from the initial nervousness, and started to chat happily with Liu's mother. When she heard Liu Sen's embarrassing story, she laughed out loud. Liu's father came back from work, and saw the third daughter as soon as he entered the door. Seeing the look Liu's mother gave him, the smile on his face was as bright as it could be. Soon after finishing dinner, Liu Sen told his parents about the glass factory. "Mom and Dad, I bought the glass factory in the town, so I don't have to do my original job anymore. You two can go and have a look when you are free." Liu Sen originally wanted his parents to go out for a trip, but thinking about the current social environment, he decided to forget it. It would be safer to stay at home without causing trouble to the society. Chapter 24 Housing Reconstruction Program. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Liu's parents talked about the renovation of their house and have applied for it, but it has not been approved yet. The government department said that it is very difficult to approve this now. Old houses are basically not allowed to be renovated, and even those who want to build a 3-story building are not allowed to do so. Liu Sen thought for a while, and it seemed that this policy was indeed in place now. Liu Sen called Mayor Hong to inquire about this issue. Although he was not the mayor of their home, the problem was the same. After inquiry, I learned that reconstruction can be done, but it must be due to natural damage. The 3rd floor cannot be built, but a basement level can be built, which will also be a 3rd floor. He also said that he was familiar with their mayor and could build a bridge. Liu Sen refused and said that he would ask Mayor Hong for help if necessary in the future. Liu Sen didn't want to give out this favor so easily. Liu Sen told his parents about the news, and they were immediately helpless. At this time, Wang Suilian said to Liu Sen, 2 months ago, there was a typhoon here, and there were several rows of tiles on the roof of our house. Lift it, does this count? Ah, there is another matter, why didn't you tell me? Liu Sen didn't expect that there was another matter. There were indeed several typhoons this summer. This is indeed a bit rare here, especially the destructive typhoons. It's not a big deal. The damage to our house was relatively small. The balcony of your Aunt Lee's house next door was completely blown down, and a house in Kai San's house in the village collapsed. Mother Liu said while gesticulating. Is this compensated by the government? Yes, our family has provided a supplement of 900 yuan. Liu's mother said while thanking the government. Then this should be considered natural damage. I sent a message to ask. Liu Sen immediately sent another message to Mayor Hong, and received a reply soon. It can be calculated, especially since the government has lost money before, and there is a record of this. After thanking Mayor Hong again, Liu Sen thought that there should be no problem with the approval. It would be better to find someone to say hello. Yeah, do you know the leader of my Tianxiao town? We know each other. Your Tianxiao town has a loan from our bank, so we know the mayor. Oh, then my house needs to be rebuilt, so we have to go through the process, but it's a bit slow, so I need you to take the lead and I'll visit tomorrow. Liu Sen said directly. No problem, I'll call Mayor Ma. There's a meeting at the bank tomorrow, but I can't accompany you. Niu said apologetically. It's okay, you don't need it. I can just go by myself. You just need to say hello in advance. After ending the call, the family continued to chat about other issues, and it was very late. Liu Sen originally planned to go back, but Liu's mother disagreed and insisted that they stay one night. In the end, I had no choice but to stay. Fortunately, there were not many rooms in the house. Liu Sen had 1 room and 2 rooms for the 3 girls. However, the 3 girls did not separate and just found a room to sleep together. It is true that there are relatively few rooms in the house now, but after the house is rebuilt, it will definitely be able to meet the needs. Before going to bed, Liu Sen received a message from Niu. She had already contacted Mayor Ma and sent her contact number to Liu Senator. She could call Mayor Ma when she arrived tomorrow morning. The next day, Liu Sen woke up and saw the scenery outside the window, feeling very relaxed and happy. The environment at home is still very good. There is a lake in front and a mountain not far away. Mountains are relative, but they are actually only a few dozen meters high. When Liu Sen got up, he saw no one at home and didn't know where he was. Just when he was about to call and ask, he heard the voices of several women coming from outside the yard. The third daughter Lu Ying and Lu's mother Wang Zuelian walked into the yard talking and laughing, and seemed to get along well. "Brother Sen, get up. We brought you duck blood fans," Lu Ying said and shook a bag in her hand. "When Liu Sen comes home occasionally, he will eat duck blood vermicelli in the morning." It seems that Lu's mother told them. While eating duck blood vermicelli, Liu Sen said to Lu Ying, "We will visit Mayor Ma later. You guys come with me and get to know each other." Because Mayor Ma is the mayor of his hometown, he may have many contacts with him in the future, and he will definitely be busy. If anything happens, he may have to let the three girls communicate in the future, so he will take them with him this time. Soon he arrived at the gate of the government. Liu Sen called Mayor Ma and found out that he was waiting for him in the office. "Hello, Mayor Ma, I am Liu Sr. "Hello, manager and I told me that you are his brother," Mayor Ma said. "Yes, Mayor Ma, I purchased the glass factory in the town a few days ago and now it is renamed Yijian Glass. I will need you to take more care of it in the future," Liu Sen continued. "It turns out that Mr. Liu bought it. I've been quite busy recently, so I originally planned to take a look at it later." Mayor Ma immediately became more enthusiastic. "Then we welcome Mayor Ma to visit and guide our factory at any time." Liu Sen immediately cooperated and said, "After all, he is a parent official, and when the winery grows in scale, the glass factory here will definitely expand, and it will be a large-scale expansion. Moreover, the glass factory will not only produce glass bottles. This glass bottle is made of special materials. When the time comes, it will be impossible for other companies to recycle and reuse. It can only be recycled and reused by him, who has a special catalyst, and this strength can be adjusted to produce a lot of special glass. Our town needs more people like you to develop. After all, this is my hometown, and I also want my hometown to develop. I also have a grudging request for coming here this time. My hometown house was somewhat damaged when a typhoon entered. At that time, the government provided compensation. This time when I came back and saw the old house, I was worried that it might be a safety risk due to the damage caused by the typhoon, so I wanted to rebuild the house. Some time ago, my parents submitted an application for reconstruction, but it has never been approved." Liu Sen didn't make any detours and went straight to it. Just said. The house was damaged. Mr. Liu is concerned about the safety of his family. This should be praised. It shows that Mr. Liu has a filial piety. I want to ask if the materials are consistent. Mayor Ma immediately called the relevant departments. "Have you received any applications for homestead reconstruction recently? There is a family named Liu Qingsheng. Although it was somewhat damaged in the typhoon some time ago, the current policy is tighter on this aspect, so we are suppressing it first. Does that material comply with all aspects? It's compounded. If it meets the requirements, don't suppress it. This house that was damaged in the typhoon is risky. After the renovation, people will be safer. Otherwise, if something happens again, it will be difficult to explain. It is better not to bear this responsibility yourself." Mayor Ma immediately analyzed it. "Thank you, Mayor Ma, for your advice. I will notify the applicant to come and get approval later." Chapter 25 Hot Pot Restaurant Plan. You are listening at novelfold.audio. Major Ma hung up the phone and glanced at Liu Sen who was sitting in front of him. "Mr. Liu, the country is tightening its policies now. The management of self-built houses in rural areas is very strict, and the approval personnel here dare not approve it casually. I have just asked him, and he also said that the materials and other things are in line with the policy, and the process can be completed in the afternoon. Thank you so much, Mayor Ma, you are anxious for our people." Liu Sen kept thanking him and gave Mayor Ma a box of Qing foam wine he had brought with him. "You can't accept this, we have discipline." Mayor Ma saw the gift and his face was a little wrong. "Mayor Ma, don't get me wrong, this wine is produced by my own factory and has not yet been launched. I just want you to help me evaluate it. If you think it tastes good, please help me promote it." Liu Sen quickly explained and introduced the relevant information about this wine. The wine bottle is produced by the glass factory in our town. It was renovated just after the acquisition. When the sales volume increases, the glass factory will need to expand. At that time, we still need the town to grant us some more land. Mr. Liu, you are really good at doing business. You asked me to help you and finally asked me to sell it to you. Mayor Ma laughed and joked after hearing Liu Sen's explanation. If you think it's okay, see if you can recommend our wine to other government workers. No problem, if it tastes good, I will definitely recommend it to them. Liu Sen opened a box while speaking. Mayor Ma was very surprised to see the wine bottle, which was so unique and beautiful. After watching Liu Sen's introduction and demonstration of the wine bottle, he couldn't believe that it was produced by the small glass factory in the town. Mayor Ma is even more optimistic about the future of the glass factory. He used to think that Liu Sen's desire to expand the factory in the future was just a formality, but he didn't expect it to be really possible. Even if the wine is not good, the glass factory has great potential for this wine bottle and this material. Liu Sen said goodbye to Mayor Ma, and drove his 3 daughters directly to his brother-in-law's house. Liu Sen's sister is Liu Ling, who is 6 years older than Liu Senator. She got married earlier and married in the same town, which only takes 10 minutes to drive. His brother-in-law's surname is Wang Shifeng, and he has a daughter named Wang Yao. It was already noon when they arrived, so they had dinner directly at his brother-in-law's house. Wang Shifeng was called by Liu Sen 2 days ago and resigned from Jinling. Today, Liu Sen came to discuss the opening of a store with his brother-in-law's family. Letting his brother-in-law's family open a hot pot restaurant was decided a week ago. Since he has the ability, he will lead his family to live a good life. The path found for his brother-in-law is not the manufacturing industry, but the catering industry. Liu Sen provided the startup capital and the 10 times more delicious seasonings, and his brother-in-law's family is responsible for daily management. Let Liu Ying take out the agreement that had been prepared before and sign it with his brother-in-law and sister. Liu Sen felt that brothers should make clear their accounts before starting, otherwise it would be difficult to sort out the details later, which would be bad. He gave his brother-in-law and sister 5% of the shares each, and Liu Sen took 90% himself. His shares were hidden as a backup fund for him. Liu Sen told them that if anyone else asked about the hot pot restaurant, they should tell the public that they were fully funded. After eating the unpackaged chicken essence modified by the golden finger that Liu Sen took out, the brother-in-law's family was completely relieved. Wang Yao, the little girl, was originally picky about food and ate very little, but today she ate a lot and couldn't stop eating. After dinner, they discussed the plan for opening a store in the future, and the name of the store was determined to be Shueju. The first store went directly to Jinling. As a restaurant, it must go to a big city with a large flow of people, so that it can develop faster, recover funds faster, and open branches. The reason for not opening a store in Rongqing is that Rongqing is too small. It is better to return to Rongqing to open a store after developing in Jinling. Another reason is that he has absolute confidence in the seasoning Liu Sen brought out. Wang Yao was taken by Liu Sen to Rongqing City to go to school and lived in Liu Sen's house for a while. After all, Liu Sen's busiest time has come to an end. After his brother-in-law has established a foothold in Jinling, he will take Wang Yao to Jinling to go to school. Of course, an embarrassing thing happened at this time. When the 10-year-old Wang Yao saw the 3 girls at the beginning, he had a question. After thinking about it for a long time in his little head, he finally asked it out: which one is her future aunt? She doesn't know how to call people. After hearing this question, the brother-in-law and sister also had a face full of gossip, while Liu Ying, Yin Dan, and Lu stared at Liu Sen, which made Liu Sen's scalp numb. Finally, Liu Sen directly told Wang Yao that she could just call her aunt. In the evening, Liu Sen and the 3 girls returned home. The 3 girls' questions about Wang Yao lingered in their hearts and made it difficult for them to fall asleep. The next morning, Liu Sen received a call from President Jin. "Asen, my friend has a party tonight. Come over and bring more tenfold wine." "Uncle Jin, got it. I'll be there on time." "Thank you, Uncle Jin." Liu Sen knew that this was Uncle Jin's way of bringing him into contact with more people, increasing his network of contacts, and also helping to promote tenfold wine. Liu Sen was very happy. This might be the first sales channel for tenfold wine. At night, Liu Sen went to the place that President Jean mentioned alone. This was a very private farm. Only after arriving did he realize that this place was only open to acquaintances. People who came were basically people with some background. This farm was mainly for communication and leisure. Let the service staff move the wine to the private room, and soon people slowly arrived, including the number 1 and number 2 government officials of Rongcheng, several presidents of Rongcheng's financial system, and people from Jinling's financial system. This standard is quite high. Liu Sen met many people at this banquet and left their contact information. This is not because of the wine, but also because of the relationship between President Jin Ziming, who is very popular here. Liu Sen only then realized that Jin Ziming is not only talented, but also has a great background. After tasting the wine, everyone was very satisfied and was willing to use it as a hospitality wine for their own units. In the future, the unit will use tenfold wine for welfare or activities. Liu Sen expressed his gratitude again and again, and explained that the grade of this wine will get better and better, and the taste will get better and better. This wine is the first batch of products after the company is built, and promised to supply everyone with the lowest market price. To thank everyone for their support, Liu Sen then introduced to everyone that the wine has not been brewed for a long time. When the time reaches a certain time, usually 1 year, the taste of the wine will be twice that of the wine just leaving the factory. At this time, one of the 3 hollow 5-pointed stars on the ball in the bottle will turn red. When the taste is twice that of the factory, 2 5-pointed stars will turn red. When the taste is 3 times, all 3 will be red. Basically, the time is 1 year, 2 years, and 3 years. This design is a surprise for all consumers. The wine you buy will taste better as time goes by, and it can be shown in the bottle. Other liquors will not change no matter how long they stay in the bottle. In this way, Liu Sen's wine will have more investment value and collection value. And this value increase is visible. Everyone at the banquet is also well informed, but such a wonderful idea really makes everyone's eyes light up. Good taste, good packaging, investment value, and collection value. Chapter 26 Milk Tea. You are listening at novelfold.audio. Everyone was old friends, and they immediately became more enthusiastic about Liu Senator this time. They not only looked at Akira Kanazawa's face, but also saw Liu Sen's value and development potential. Finally, Liu Sen told everyone the original price, which was 168 yuan a bottle. This price is absolutely the best for wine at this price, and the price of the wine is expected to increase by about 50 yuan for every 1-star increase in taste. This is the premium paid by wine buyers for their own collection. The price in the second-hand market is still very attractive. Investing in this wine can increase your income by 20% to 30% every year. Of course, it depends on the market's acceptance of this wine. Looking at the attitudes of so many people at the scene, Liu Sen knew that this wine would definitely succeed. I exchanged contact information with people at the venue, and they all said that they must be notified as soon as the first batch of wine is officially launched. Liu Sen quickly agreed and gave some of the remaining items to everyone. I also hope that he can drive the economic development of Rongcheng. This is related to their future. Originally, Rongcheng had nothing to offer, but Liu Sen gave them hope. This wine is likely to become Rongcheng's wine in the near future. Signboard. They must also pay more attention to prevent accidents. After bidding farewell to everyone in the evening and once again thanking Uncle Jean for his care, Liu Sen asked the 3 women to pick him up and take him home. After returning home, Liu Sen and the 3 women explained what they had paid attention to recently, paid attention to the progress of the winery construction, and asked the 3 women to find an agency to rent a few houses tomorrow for the upcoming Deng Yaluan and the people he recruited. Although the Yaluan family Jinling is close to Rongcheng, but it takes a lot of time to go back and forth every day, especially if the company is a startup. There must be a lot to do. After sending away the 3 girls, Liu Sen walked into the workshop and started researching again. He wanted to study the next generation of wine and synthesize a new generation of distillers' yeast and enzymes. Liu Sen, who entered the research state, did not feel the passage of time. Synthesis, observation, experiment, failure, and failure again. Although it has been failing, it has been making progress. I believe that the next generation will be able to synthesize it in the near future. At 11 o'clock, Liu Sen left the studio, took a shower and went to the rooftop swimming pool. The three girls were lying on it chatting and looking at the moon. Jumping into the swimming pool, Liu Sen swam several times in the water. Liu Sen rode vigorously back and forth in the water. His strong body was full of power against the backdrop of the moonlight and water. The three women were resting on one side, their eyes shining brightly. Although they looked at it often during this period, they still never tire of it. Lu Ying felt that her body was getting hot. The cool breeze blowing on her body from the roof no longer felt cool. Maybe she had been sitting in the same position for a long time, so she couldn't help but move and change her position. He turned to look at Im Dan and Lu Luer, and found that they were similar. The three of them looked at each other for a moment, and then like injured little rabbits, they looked away, picked up the milk tea on the side and took a sip. After swimming a few times, Liu Sen walked out of the swimming pool and saw the three women looking at each other strangely, and the atmosphere was not right. After a quick glance, Liu Sen sat on a chair on the side, picked up the milk tea ordered by the three women and took a sip. Lu, why do you like milk tea so much? Liu Sen knew without asking that it must be the milk tea ordered by Lulu. It tastes delicious. Lulu said without any hesitation. But drinking too much is not good, and it is easy to gain weight. As he said this, Liu Sen glanced around and looked at the figures of the three Lulu girls. Well, it hasn't changed and it's still beautiful. Are you fat? Brother Sen, give me a good look. Lulu immediately stood up, walked to Liu Sen, and turned around so that he could see clearly. Stop spinning, you're not fat, sit down quickly. Liu Sen said immediately and asked her to sit back quickly. Lulu was wearing a swimsuit at this time, and her overall lines were clearly revealed, and she was doing a 360-degree rotation at such a close distance. He felt like he couldn't hold on any longer. His heart was beating very fast, and he might turn into a wolf in the next second. Ate the little white rabbit in front of me. When the three girls saw Liu Sen's embarrassment, they all laughed. The waves were rough and facing the moonlight, they exuded infinite charm. Liu Sen's eyes were attracted. Liu Sen picked up the milk tea and took a sip to relax. The only thing I can drink in my leisure time is milk tea. Brother Sen's wine is also very good. Unfortunately, it's wine and I can't drink it all the time. Lu Ying said. Well, yes, but I'm so torn about drinking milk tea all the time and being afraid of getting fat. Im Dan expressed the thoughts of most women. It is indeed impossible to drink frequently, not to drink when shopping, and not to drink when eating out. After all, we are not abroad. Another very important point is that although sake is low alcohol, you cannot drive after drinking it. Wine naturally has many restrictions. The most popular one now is milk tea. He can enter this aspect, just like the catering market. Thinking of this, I couldn't help but modify the milk tea in my hand. Keep the sweetness of milk tea and reduce the sugar content 10 times. Liu Sen took a sip, but there was no change in the taste. After thinking about it, he once again increased the taste of various ingredients such as coconut, pearls, etc. tenfold, and increased the nutrition of the fruit tenfold. Taking another sip, I felt that the taste had been sublimated a lot, and the nutritional value had increased tenfold. The taste of this fruit was more intense and layered. Understand the production method. The next moment the relevant knowledge poured into my mind, and then it was integrated. It seems that Liu Sen has read a lot of books during this period, and there is no obstacle to understanding these new knowledge. Liu Sen checked the knowledge in his mind. He was confident that he could complete the knowledge analysis and manufacturing within a week. This new blending method actually retains the nutrients that are beneficial to the human body when making juice, and various macromolecules will not be broken and destroyed in the traditional mode. The sugar in milk tea that can cause people to gain weight can also be directly decomposed, and a molecule that can produce sweetness can be generated, which will not cause any harm to the human body, and the sweetness is still adjustable, which is perfect. The happy Liu Sen hugged Lulu and kissed her, then laughed and said thank you, and left the rooftop and went back to the bedroom. Lulu was stunned. During this period, the three girls had been teasing Liu Senator Liu Sen had been like a wooden stick and did not give much response. Unexpectedly, he kissed her just now. Liu and Yin Dan were also extremely surprised, with a trace of envy in their eyes. Then they looked at each other and went up to tickle Lu. For a moment, a series of laughter and noises emanated from the rooftop, which was pleasant to the ears. The azure-blue water in the swimming pool rippled in the breeze, and the moonlight sprinkled on the water, creating patches of fluorescence. Chapter 27 Nutrition Guardian. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The next morning, Liu Sen ordered a machine and some ingredients for making milk tea. He also drew some design drawings and sent some customized instruments to some manufacturers for production. In the studio, Liu Sen used instruments to start synthesizing the reagents needed for milk tea. The production was very successful. After multiple synthesis with high-precision instruments, the production was completed. This reagent does not have any toxic or side effects and can be used when making juice. Protect beneficial macromolecule components and break down sugar. Taking the completed reagent, Liu Sen went to the kitchen and started making juice. He took out the fruit, cut it into pieces, put it into the juicer, and added a few drops of the reagent. Press the juicer button and the fruit is stirred and quickly turns into juice. Liu Sen poured the juice into the extra-large juice cup that he had prepared before. The color was very beautiful, brighter than the juice squeezed out by the usual juicer, and very appetizing. Pour some into the small cup. Liu Sen picked it up and smelled it, and felt a fresh taste. He took a sip, it was smooth and refreshing, and the fruit flavor was even richer, filling the taste buds, making people feel like they were swimming in fruits. Liu Sen took a look at some of the liquid left at the bottom of the cup. It was very clear, without the feeling of turbidity or impurities. This one is really a sublimation of the original taste, and it also has a nice sweetness. The more this reagent is used, the sweeter the taste will be. But the reagent itself has no taste. Using this reagent can improve the taste, add layering, protect nutrients, and break down sugar. Drinking too much of this kind of juice or milk tea will only be good for the human body and will not make you fat. A message was sent directly to the 4 people, asking them to come to the kitchen. The 3 girls were all doing their own things at this time, and Liu had already rented a house for Deng Yaluan and the others. Yin Dan confirmed the progress of the factory construction. It will be completed in 1 week. Each instrument manufacturer has prepared the goods and is waiting for the final delivery time. In the living room, Lulu was cleaning in a maid uniform. After seeing the news, the 3 women put down their work and came to the kitchen. Liu Sen poured 3 glasses of juice and pushed the glasses in front of them. Try it. Liu Sen smiled with some warmth in his eyes. Liu looked at the juice and couldn't help but smile and said, "You don't know how to drug it, right?" "Well, I took it. Look, the medicine is still here." Liu Sen picked up the bottle containing the reagent on one side and shook it before saying, "Pour your medicine down so that I can take care of things." "Who told you 3 to dress like this every day? Coolness is hanging in front of me. I am a man, I have dignity." Liu Sen's originally smiling face began to show a lustful expression, and finally showed a fierce expression. Ha! Ha! The 3 women laughed when they heard Liu Sen's words and expressions. "We're not afraid, just come on," the 3 women said and proudly raised their towering breasts. After finishing speaking, the 3 women all picked up the cups filled with juice and tasted it. A small sip soon turned into a big sip, and the small amount of juice was quickly finished. "It tastes good, eh?" Lulu said with satisfaction first, while Liu and Yin Dan nodded quickly. "How come it tastes so good? Did Brother Sen use some special fruit?" Liu Sen shook his head and told the 3 girls with a smile why the juice tasted so good. "What if we use this to open a milk tea shop? Will anyone like it?" "It's definitely okay, it's very delicious, better than all the brands of milk tea I've had before." When Liu Sen heard the results, she took the reagent in her hand and told them about her new invention, and told them that the cost of the reagent was almost negligible. After introducing the principle and function of the reagent to the 3 girls, the 3 girls were even more surprised. It turns out that not only does it taste great, it is also nutritious. It is truly sugar-free and you can drink it without worrying about gaining weight. Finally, after some discussion, the reagent was named Nutritional Guardian. "I'm going to open a milk tea shop and operate it as a chain, using this technical nutrition guard." Which of you is willing to be the person in charge of this milk tea brand? I will give you 5% of the shares. Which of the three of you is willing to do it? Liu Sen told him his plan and asked a question. Liu Sen didn't want to make a decision directly. This milk tea would definitely reach a scale of 100 billion in the future, and he didn't want them to feel that they would be partial to one person. The three women discussed it and quickly came to a conclusion, asking Lu to be the person in charge of the milk tea shop. The result was what Liu Sen thought, but he couldn't express his opinion and had to let them discuss it themselves. Soon everyone started discussing the name of the milk tea shop, and finally decided to call it Liu Milk Tea. The name sounds very green, environmentally friendly, and nutritious. Signed an equity agreement with Lu, asked her to go through the process of starting a company, and gave her 1 million as startup capital. He will gradually make arrangements for the two daughters Lu Ing and Yin Dan in the future, and he will have many companies in the future. Lu especially likes to drink milk tea, so this is the most suitable for her. Lu, you will be the real milk tea girl from now on. Liu Sen teased Lu and looked at her erectness. Ah, Brother Sen is making fun of me. Lu said and immediately jumped into Liu Sen's arms, her little head moving back and forth in Liu Sen's arms. The two girls also started making fun of each other, and they sat on the sofa to discuss the development direction of the milk tea shop, directly develop into high-end milk tea. The corresponding group of people has strong consumption power and pays more attention to nutrition and health. Each milk tea can be sent to the Quality Inspection Department and Nutrition Society for identification, so that it will become the characteristic and signature of their milk tea shop, and this special way will be the advantage of the Liu Sen brand, which is easier to promote and can make people remember it. After all, no milk tea shop dares to promote it this way. This is unique and will definitely have great potential in the market. The price is above 20 yuan, so the profit will be very high, definitely higher than some routine teas, naixue, and so on. The milk tea produced by Liu Sen is relatively cheaper. After all, there are no additives, and the taste is better and healthier. Nutrition Guard Liu Sen can produce 1 ton, that is, 1,000 liters, in a day, and can produce 10 million cups of milk tea. It can be provided to 500 stores across the country of the size of naixue for about 2 months. What's more, Liu Sen milk tea, which has just started, should be able to be used for nearly 1 year even if it expands wildly. After expressing their opinions and making many suggestions, they all continued to do their own work. After finishing the housework, Lu also began to plan to open the first store, choose the location and decoration style, and find an agent to complete the company registration. Liu Sen returned to the studio and started making Nutrition Guard again. Now he has time to make a batch more. By the evening, Liu Sen had completed 500 liters of Nutrition Guard, which was basically enough for a long time. After dinner in the evening, Liu Sen brought Lu to the workshop and pointed to 5 100-liter barrels on a shelf and said to Lu, "This is a total of 500 liters. You can pour 1 L each time you use it and take it to the store. Sell 500 cups of milk tea a day. It is estimated that it can be used for about 20 days. You control it and don't leak. Brother Sen, I will do it well and it won't leak out." Lu looked serious. This is his and Brother Sen's business. Liu Sen looked at Lu's childlike face with a firm look, and couldn't help laughing. He stretched out his hand and pinched her soft face and said, "Don't worry too much. No one else can learn this formula. It will take at least 5 to 10 years to imitate it. I said this to let you know the approximate amount to be used, so that the people in the store don't steal it. It's easier to control by providing less to the store at a time. This will also make it easier to control the franchisees after the franchise model is launched in the future." "I know, Brother Senior." "Okay, Lu, go ahead, I still have to study the next generation of koji and enzymes." Chapter 28 Breakthrough. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Looking at Lu's back, Liu Sen was a little emotional. His career would definitely grow. Would they be farther and farther away from him? Liu Sen was stunned for a while, then came to his senses and stopped thinking about it. He operated the instrument again, adjusted the instrument, configured the solution, constantly improved the ratio, and optimized the synthesis sequence. Although he still failed, he made some progress every time the alarm on his mobile phone rang. Liu Sen finished the process he was doing and stopped. It was past 11 o'clock. He set the alarm. Although his body was very strong, he still had to pay attention to what he should pay attention to. He had to develop good habits. His life was not only about work but also life. He returned to the room, washed his body, put on his swimming trunks, and went to the rooftop swimming pool. When he arrived at the rooftop, Liu Sen found that of the 3 women who were usually there, only Lulu was sitting on a chair by the swimming pool. And after seeing Liu Sen go up to the rooftop, her face began to turn red and she looked a little unnatural. Liu Sen walked to the edge of the swimming pool, doing stretching exercises, and asked Lulu, "Why are you the only one here? Where are Lu Ying and Yin Dan?" But when Lulu heard Liu Sen's question, her body suddenly stiffened, and she said with a evasive look, "They have some things to deal with, so they didn't come up." "Oh." Liu Sen just asked casually, then jumped into the swimming pool and started swimming. What Liu Sen didn't notice was that milk tea was usually placed next to the lounge chair, but today it was replaced with Qingfeng wine. Lulu watched Liu Sen swimming, and as time passed, he seemed to make up his mind, picked up a cup on the side, poured a cup and drank it, then poured another cup and drank it again. Lulu's face began to slowly turn red. He slowly stood up, and walked into the swimming pool slowly and firmly. At this time, Liu Sen had just finished swimming 2 rounds and came to the edge of the swimming pool. As soon as he stood up, suddenly a warm and soft body hugged him tightly. It turned out that Lulu was standing in the swimming pool, hugging Liu Sen directly, with her little head tightly against Liu Sen's arms. She only felt her heart beating wildly, and her head was a little dizzy. She didn't know whether it was caused by alcohol or lack of oxygen, as if she was going to faint in the next moment. At this moment, Liu Sen only felt warm and soft in his arms, and the blood flow was accelerated. Lulu's beautiful face was so beautiful and attractive under the moonlight. Liu Sen's brain was also hot at this time, so he leaned over and kissed the beauty's red lips, and his hands began to move uncontrollably. Here are 10,000 words. The next morning, Liu Sen woke up and looked at Lulu lying beside her. Her brows were a little wrinkled. Reaching out and slowly stroking her brows, lowering her head and kissing her gently, the brows that had just been frowning stretched out, and a smile appeared on her face. Afraid of disturbing her rest, Liu Sen got up quietly, picked up his clothes, walked out of the room, and went to another idle room to dress and wash. In the restaurant, because Lulu was still resting, only Liu Sen, Liu Ying and Yin Dan sat at the dining table. Liu Ying served Liu Sen porridge and handed him a lot of things. Liu Sen was a little confused when he saw the breakfast in front of him. This breakfast was a little different, much richer than usual. This was abalone porridge and oysters. "What's going on?" Liu Sen looked at Liu Ying. Liu Ying didn't say anything, but lowered her head and ate the porridge in the bowl. Her shoulders were still shaking. Turning her head to look at Yin Dan again, she didn't answer him either. Her face was a little red. Seeing that he couldn't get anything out of him, he stopped asking questions. Liu Sen began to taste the various breakfasts in front of him. They were delicious. He ate while praising Liu Ying's cooking skills. After eating, Liu Sen prepared to go back to the room to see if Lulu woke up. Before he entered the room, Liu Sen heard the laughter of the 2 women behind him. He was slightly stunned and shook his head. Entering the room, Lulu had already woken up. Seeing Liu Sen coming in, she shyly pulled the quilt to cover her body. This little girl, it's not like she didn't see him last night, but she's still shy now. "Lulu, wake up, Liu Ying and the others have prepared breakfast and are eating." Liu Sen walked up, hugged Lulu, and kissed her. "Ah, they all got up to eat. It's all your fault. You didn't sleep so late last night, like a cow." Lulu couldn't help but said angrily. Lulu hurriedly got up, but suddenly she felt a burning pain, and she didn't stand firmly and fell into Liu Sen's arms again. Last night was a long night, and finally under Liu Sen's guidance, she used various means to calm Liu Sen's anger. In fact, she didn't know that this was the result of Liu Sen's intentional restraint. Later, she realized that if it was just her, the cow wouldn't be tired, but the field would be broken first. Lulu limped, and from time to time she made a slight inhalation sound, and walked to the restaurant with the help of Liu Sr. After settling Lulu, Liu Sen went into the studio to continue his previous research. Lu Ying and Yin Dan immediately surrounded Lu and began to ask about the development of yesterday's events. Lu kept eating, and she kept answering the two women's questions vaguely, her face blushing. Soon after finishing the meal, Lu Ying and Yin Dan looked at each other and sent a signal to each other, and then Lu Ying and Yin Dan directly carried Lu into their room. Lu was thrown directly on the bed and began to tickle her. Soon Lu began to confess under the service of the two women. Under Lulu's shy narration, Lu Ying and Yin Dan also blushed and looked charming, as if they were experiencing it themselves. The three women hugged each other, revealing silent warmth. "Thank you, two sisters," Lulu said softly. The arrangement yesterday was discussed by the three women. Lulu will soon be responsible for the operation of the milk tea shop. In the future, she will definitely go on business trips frequently due to the company's market expansion and other issues. In this way, she cannot stay with Liu Sen for a long time, so the scene last night allowed Lulu and Liu Sen to have time alone and their relationship broke through. The relationship between the three women can be said to have surpassed many people. They are reluctant to separate, so they tacitly agree on common goals and help each other. A few days passed quickly, and everything was progressing step by step. The milk tea shop was already under renovation. The address was in the most popular shopping mall in Rongcheng, and it would be open in a few days. The employees were fresh graduates from Rongcheng University, a total of 5 people, 4,000 yuan per month, 2 days off a week, 5 insurances and 1 housing fund, and bonuses were issued at the end of the month based on performance. Good jobs are very scarce in Rongcheng, and the salary offered by Liu is really very good, so it is looking for relatively good people. My brother-in-law's hot pot restaurant has also completed the site selection in Jinling and has been renovated for some time. The construction of the winery is about to be completed. The factory buildings have been fully built, but the office building is still under construction, and personnel recruitment is also in progress. Deng Yaluan has found a sales team of more than a dozen people, all of whom are excellent sales staff from some of his previous companies or acquaintances. Chapter 29 Recruitment. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Liu Sen drove to Jinling Talent Market with Lu Ying and Yin Dan. They needed to recruit some talents. Basic employees did not need too many skills. They could be recruited directly in Maoshan. Liu Sen did not want to go to Jinling and wanted to recruit people online, but the company had just been established and was not popular, so he could only go to the talent market to try his luck. On the reserved recruitment booth, he posted the recruitment needs prepared in advance. Urgent call, point 1 factory manager, point 1 financial director, point 1 IT director. Salary interview, Jiangnan Rongcheng Yidian Wine Company, Limited. Liu Sen, Lu Ying and Yin Dan made all the preparations and sat in their seats, waiting for the applicants. Soon it was time to enter the venue, and the applicants poured into the venue. Groups of people poured in and looked over when they passed their recruitment booth. At first, Liu Sen was still very happy. It seemed that the position he offered was still very attractive, but soon he found something wrong. Although they came to the booth one by one, they shook their heads and left after seeing the recruitment poster. Some people took out their mobile phones and checked the information of Yidian wine industry online, but they lost interest. Some people gave up because the company was in Rongcheng and the work location was also Rongcheng. Some people found out that the company had only been registered for less than a month. What kind of physical manufacturing industry is this? It has no future at all. Everyone knows that manufacturing is difficult, and it is also a relatively traditional wine industry. Many people did not come to their company, but were attracted by Lu Ying and Yin Dan, who had outstanding figures, appearances and temperaments. Liu Sen was speechless. Was he here to apply for a job or to see beautiful women? It can only be said that the two women were too attractive, and the attractiveness of two beauties with different styles and temperaments was doubled. After waiting for a long time, no one came, and the 3 people who were really bored started chatting. Hello, you are recruiting IT supervisors here. Are you still short of people? A very young man asked. Hearing someone asking, the 3 women stopped and looked at the young man in front of them. He was very young, should have just graduated, and was dressed in ordinary clothes, just simple sportswear. We are short of people. Do you want to apply? Liu Sen asked. Such a young man actually applied for the position of IT supervisor directly. Yes, this is my resume. The young man was quite happy to hear this and immediately handed his resume to Liu Sr. Liu Sen asked the other party to sit down first. After reading the resume, he found out why this young man was confident to apply for the position of IT supervisor directly. The young man's name is Chao Lei. He is a student of Jinling University, majoring in IT. He just graduated this year. He has done a lot of projects while in school and applied for some small patents. Liu Sen didn't know why he chose their company at first. After seeing Chao Lei's home address, he understood a little bit in his heart. Chao Lei is from Maoshan town, Rongcheng. Knowing this, they started to communicate. This Chao Lei doesn't have too much ambition. He just wants a stable job with a good salary and close to home. His parents are farmers. They are usually hard-working. The family conditions are not good. He has not been in good health in the past 2 years and now needs someone to take care of him. Although Jinling is relatively close to Rongcheng, it is still very inconvenient to get from Jinling to Maoshan. It is necessary to cross the entire Rongcheng, and it takes 2 or 3 hours to go home. Chao Lei saw that there were companies in the town recruiting people, IT supervisors, and his major was also suitable. With his talents, he was fully qualified. As long as the salary was not much less than that of the same position in Jinling, he would agree. Liu Sen looked at Chao Lei in front of him and was still very satisfied. Through chatting, Chao Lei was able to answer some professional questions asked by Liu Sen, and he had some of his own opinions. Liu Sen was very clear about his own level. His brain and the many books he had read in recent times may not be considered top masters for the time being, but the distance is not too far, so Chao Lei is indeed more capable, has good character, and is filial. After communication, Chao Lei was given a monthly salary of 15,000 yuan. Chao Lei was very satisfied when he heard it. He had never thought that a company that had just opened in his hometown could give so much. He had considered being close to home to take care of the elderly, and he would agree if it was 10,000 yuan. Liu Sen has his own purpose. He can recruit experts and train them first. It would be even better if he can recruit another group of people through Chao Lei. After all, his goal is ambitious. When the time comes, he will train a group of people. Those with poor abilities will be placed in various small companies to do IT, and those with strong abilities will be transferred to the research institute established in the future to study new technologies according to the direction obtained by Liu Sen based on the golden finger. Recruitment notice was issued to Chao Lei on the spot, and contact information was added. Chao Lei, you can also introduce some of yours. As long as I have no problem with the interview, I can enter. The company will not be low. Boss, my classmates all want to stay in Jinling for development, and they still hope to enter professional counterparts. Chao Lei was a little embarrassed when he heard Liu Sen's words. He worked in Yidian wine industry because he was close to home and it was easy to take care of the elderly at home. He could foresee the content of his future work, which was to make websites, maintain servers, or decorate the stores of online shopping platforms. His classmates would definitely not be willing to come for such a job. After listening to Chao Lei's words, Liu Sen gave up for the time being. Even if he told Chao Lei about his ambitions and plans, he would not believe it. He could only wait until later, but Liu Sen still told Chao Lei that whether he was willing or not, he should ask his friends first. Liu Sen believed that birds of a feather flock together, and Chao Lei's friends should be of good level. Chao Lei hesitated for a while, but still agreed to Liu Sr. Chao Lei went back to pack up his things. He could return the rental house in Jinling and go home directly. Liu Sen just told him that the company was still under renovation, so he asked him to work from home and make the company's website first. Liu Sen and his friends did not recruit suitable candidates until the end of the job fair in the afternoon. Liu Sen could only take Lu Ying and Yin Dan back to Rongcheng. As soon as he entered the house, he saw his cousin Niu sitting at home with Lulu for dinner. "Brother, you are back. I heard that you went to Jinling to recruit people today. How was the result?" Niu saw Liu Sen coming in and asked with a spatula in her hand. "It's not going well. It's too difficult to recruit people. Our company has just been established and has no reputation. It is also in a small town in a small city and is not recognized. Liu Sen sighed. Then I didn't recruit anyone. I'm lucky. I got a reward, and he's a talented person who graduated from Jinling University. Thinking of Chao Lei, Liu Sen was quite happy. How could a Jinling University graduate choose your company? Niu was surprised. Although she knew that her brother's company would definitely have a good development, other people didn't know. If you tell someone you don't know that the company will have a huge development in the future, you will definitely have a future if you follow me and work hard. No one will believe such words, which is just a big deal. His family is in Maoshan town, and he wants to take care of his family nearby. In this case, the person's character should be good. Do you still need to recruit people for other positions? If not, I'll talk to Uncle Jean. He has a wide network of contacts and will definitely find the right person. Niu saw Liu Sen's troubles and suggested. Yes, why didn't I think of it? In fact, it's not that Liu Sen didn't think of it, but that his inner essence still didn't want to cause trouble to others. He wanted to do everything by himself. It seems that this kind of personality needs to be changed, and in small places, you really have to find talents for everything you do. If you want to recruit the right one, you need to ask people with wide connections. After dinner, the three girls and Niu went to the rooftop to relax, while Liu Sen went into the workshop to continue his research on Koji No. 2 and Type B enzyme. Chapter 30 Talent Interview. You are listening at novelfold.audio. At 11 o'clock, Liu Sen finished his research and swam several times in the rooftop swimming pool. After leaving the swimming pool, he sat on a chair and picked up the milk tea to drink. Well, this flavor uses his nutrition guard, which has a unique taste and a sense of layering. After looking at the packaging, the brand name of Mulinson is clearly on the packaging, which is fresh and elegant. Is this milk tea shop already open? Isn't it still under renovation? Liu Sen asked in confusion. This is the packaging designed by Lulu. What you drink is the new product she prepared today. It will be launched in the store in the future. How about it? It's not bad, right? Lu Ying explained directly. Lulu on the side blinked her big eyes, looked at Liu Sen without saying anything, and waited quietly for his evaluation. Very good, very distinctive, and there is a clear difference from the milk tea I drank before, which will make people remember it. Lulu smiled after hearing Liu Sen's affirmation. She just wanted to be able to make a difference. The milk tea on the market now is too homogenized. She has been trying new combinations recently, adding nutrition guard to form her own brand style. Lulu told Liu Sen about her understanding of milk tea, and Liu Sen laughed. It was a wise choice to let her run the milk tea shop. Niu also nodded repeatedly. She was also very surprised when she drank this milk tea before. She didn't expect her brother to come up with another king bomb without saying anything. After chatting for a while, they went back to sleep. Liu Sen originally wanted to ask Lulu to go back to the room with him, but Lulu's face was red and she didn't want to, saying that there were other people. He had to go back to the room alone. After washing and turning off the lights, he was about to go to bed, but his door was opened. He had lived at home for so long, and the door had never been locked. A petite figure, wearing pajamas, entered the room and ran straight to Liu Senator before he could react. He got into Liu Sen's arms, smelling the fragrance. Liu Sen knew who it was, hugged and kissed, and soon all the clothes flew out of the quilt, and waves of pleasant singing accompanied the moonlight. The next day, Liu Sen woke up, and the person next to him had already left. After Liu Sen got up and finished his meal, he started to study the next generation of wine yeast and enzymes again. At noon, he received a call from Uncle Jean. Niu told him about the recruitment of the winery last night. He asked through his connections and someone was interested in your company. He was also capable. You can meet him. Liu Sen expressed his gratitude and soon received messages from several people. Liu Sen took a look and found that one of the wines was the deputy director of a local brand winery in Rongcheng. His name was Kai Chongqing. He had been working in the original winery for 10 years. He started as a technician and became the deputy director. He was quite familiar with the industry and the operation of the entire winery. This local brand has made progress in recent years, but it cannot open up the market in other cities. After calling Kai Chongqing to meet at the coffee shop, Liu Sen took Lu Ying and Yin Dan to the coffee shop to meet Kai Chongqing. He found that Kai Chongqing was wearing a suit and had short hair, which made him look energetic. He was more energetic than some factory or company leaders he had met before. After saying hello and sitting down, Liu Sen asked directly. "You are now the deputy director of a winery. Why did you think of coming to our newly opened company?" "It's a bit false to say that I came for you. I came for your wine. I had the honor of drinking your wine once a few days ago and was amazed. I think the current liquor market has reached a bottleneck, basically reached its peak, and even declined a bit, because many young people nowadays do not accept the current liquor. Your wine will definitely open up new markets and lead new trends, and now the country is also promoting low-alcohol liquor and youth." Liu Sen listened silently. Kai Chongqing's ideas were quite in line with his ideas, but he wanted to hear more than that. "Then why don't you launch new products in your current company?" Liu Sen asked. "I also want to launch it. I have tested 2 products internally, but the taste is not good. Although I have achieved certain results in promoting reforms in the company before, this new product has no special taste and is destined to have no market. I want to continue to test new wines, but the company disagrees and thinks that I am wasting time and no longer supports me in new research and development. They are afraid that I will ruin the winery. Their family just wants to make money steadily." Liu Sen knew that the winery where Kai Chongqing worked was a family business. It was very good for him to be the deputy director, which showed that he was really capable. They talked about many related issues again, and Liu Sen was very satisfied. This person was not only capable of management, but also a technical talent. They talked about salary and benefits again, and confirmed that there were no problems. "Yidian Wine Industry welcomes you to join." Liu Sen extended his hand, and Kai Chongqing also shook hands with Liu Sen with excitement. "Director Kai, since the company is just starting out, we still need a lot of technical staff and basic employees. I believe you should have a lot of connections in this regard, and you need to recruit them." "Okay, no problem." Kai Chongqing was very happy that Liu Sen could give him this job, which was an affirmation and trust in his ability. "By the way, the company's sales manager is Deng Yaluan. I'll give you his phone number. You can contact him directly if you have any sales matters. You can contact me or Lu Ying directly if you have other matters." After Kai Chongqing hung up the phone, he happily left the coffee shop. Liu Sen continued to wait for the next interview, which was scheduled to be in half an hour. Soon, a beautiful woman in a business suit walked into the coffee shop. Her long wavy hair was dyed chestnut. Although she was wearing a business suit, her figure was really impressive, with a protruding front and a curved back. Her stunning face made people think of it. The woman's name was Jean Shuya, 28 years old. She was an international student. She had a double degree in business administration and economic management from a famous foreign university. She had interned abroad for a year and had just returned to China not long ago. "Hello, Mr. Liu, I'm Jean Shuya." Liu Sen looked at the other party and stretched out his little hand to him. He also stretched out his right hand and gently shook his hand, then let go. Lu Ying saw that the other party was a big beauty and had a strong aura, so she couldn't help but adjust her posture. "Ms. Jean, why do you want to join our company?" "A person I trust strongly recommended you. I have also tasted your wine and am very interested in your wine. Another thing is that I am also very interested in you as a person. I learned about you and found that you have a legendary deeds. So I came." The other party answered very straightforwardly, and the answer also surprised Liu Sen a little. Liu Sen asked Jean Shuya again, "Why didn't you stay abroad?" "I went abroad mainly to learn something. I think I have learned enough now, so I came back." Jean Shuya's tone was very confident and she felt it was natural. Liu Sen felt that her philosophy was very high, and this was the self-confidence that contemporary Chinese people should have. After talking about their views on the company again, Liu Sen decided to hire Jean Shuya as a financial manager, offering an annual salary of 300,000 yuan, bonuses separately, and promised that the company would adjust again after it got on track. and would also give 1% to 3% as a reward to the management. It was also said that there would be adjustments to the position in the future, and Jin Shuya also said that there was no problem. She believed that this was only temporary and she was optimistic about future development.